Welcome back to the channel, friends! Don't worry, I have not given up on makeup content. I do hope that you enjoyed the ASMR video. As of the time that I'm filming this, it's only been up for a little while, and I actually haven't checked in like an hour to see how many views it's gotten. Hopefully it's popped off, but I have no idea. Today's video is going to be kind of like a Christmas in July sort of a situation where basically I'm going to be discussing how I intend to survive the holidays, specifically holiday sales. Last year, I went overboard with the sales, and I am still, to this day, trying to get use out of all of the things that I got around November, December, holiday time. There are still several products in my collection that I have not used that are almost a year old at this point, or a year of being in my collection. So we're going to talk about my plans for not doing that to myself again this year. How does that sound? I hope that you will encourage me to stay strong, and I will certainly do the same for you if you reach out to me and you're like, oh my God, Paul, I want to buy all the things. I'll be like, no, don't do it. Don't be like me. Before we get into it, can I just show you what I have in my eyes? This is Mothership 5 from Pat McGrath. Bronze Seduction. It's a beautiful palette. I am literally, oh, what a beautiful palette. I'm literally wearing, what, 3 shades? Am I wearing 3 shades? I'm wearing just the one matte, Extreme Aubergine. Obviously, I have this beautiful intense red on my lid. Oh no, I have 4 shades on. What's the name of this? What's the name of it? Blitz Flame. And then I did actually take a little bit of this shade here just to top on the center of the lid, just to give a little bit more oomph. That is Rose Gold 005. And then I took this incredible like multi-chrome shade. It has like blue and green and gold and all kinds of things going on. VR Fire Opal. Beautiful palette. This is my first time using this. My husband got this for me recently in one of the very many Pat McGrath sales. This was, I think, 30% off at the time. And yeah, so he got it for me and I'm finally using it, and God, it's so beautiful. I'm going to be using these Pat McGrath palettes a lot more in the near future. I still have 2 Pat McGrath palettes in my collection that I have not used at all. I have Divine Rose and I have Midnight Sun. So glad that I got use out of this one today. I did kind of like a smoky holiday look to go with the theme. Did I say where I put Fire Opal, VR Fire Opal? I put it on the inner part of my, I feel like I didn't say that before. What the heck? If you want to know what's on my lips, it's actually from ColourPop. It's the, I think it's just called like Jack, or like maybe Jack Skellington. I don't know. It's from the Nightmare Before Christmas collection. It's like the vibrant, beautiful red. It's like such a great go-to if I want just like a true beautiful red. I have that red blush from ColourPop from the High School Musical collection. What is it called? Playoffs. I always forget what it's called, but I'm pretty sure it's called Playoffs. I have that on my cheeks, and I do have from the Unearthly and Heather Austin collab, I have the highlighter from the highlighter palette. This one here. So that's my highlight. I don't know how visible it is on camera. I could definitely see it when I was looking at it in the mirror before, but I don't know if it's like super visible on camera. Tell me how you feel about this look. I'm always so, I just don't know how to feel about these super dark smoky looks on me. Anyway, let's just talk about it. I have some things written down. So, mentally preparing for holiday sales and holiday releases. First, let's talk about sales. So I want to talk a little bit about the brands that I'm fairly certain I'm going to be buying from, because I know that there are things that I want from them that I'm going to take advantage of their sales and get some products from them. And then I'm going to talk about some brands that I might buy some stuff from, but that will depend on how good their sales are, if they come out with new interesting products that will be available in the sales, and honestly, how much money I even have left after I buy from the other brands. So my number one this year is going to be Pat McGrath. I'm trying to pretty much collect the Mothership palettes at this point, and I have, what do I have, 6 of them. So the new one is you know, kind of out. I don't know, at this point it's like being released and then disappearing and then being released again. I don't know, it's very, very strange. The whole situation with that is super strange. So that one is not high on my list of priorities. I'll probably get 10 and 3, so Moonlit Seduction and Subversive. I'll probably get those ones in the sale. I'm hoping that they do a similar thing this year like they did last year, where they did like, if you spend this much, you get 30% off. If you spend this much, you get 40% off. Hopefully I'll be able to get 40% off on whatever I want to buy. And if that is the case, I'll probably get 2 Motherships. Maybe something else as well, I don't really know. Would it be wild to get 3 Motherships? Because I also kind of want Mothership 4 Decadence. I don't know though. It's possible. Another brand that I'm kind of leaning towards getting something from them this year. Y'all know how much I love Natasha Denona. There are 2 mid-size palettes that I still don't have in my collection. Bronze and Glam. Arguably the most boring palettes that you can get from the brand, but part of me still just really wants to get them. I want to like finish my collection of the middies. I want to be able to reference them and talk about them. I want to use them on the channel. I want to like do looks with them on the channel, even though they are kind of boring, especially because I have all these other palettes from Natasha Denona that kind of sort of cover some of the bases that those ones cover. I don't know, but depending on how much money I have available to me when these sales start and what the deals are, I might be getting those palettes. It's possible. It's possible. Oh, you know what I just remembered though? Natasha Denona always does really weird things with their sales where it's like, buy these 2 palettes in a bundle and you get like a deal. And Glam and Bronze, at least last year, really weren't in any of those deals, at least at the very least not together. I think I saw Glam paired with some other palettes, but I don't think there were any deals with Bronze, and they definitely were not selling the 2 together. So I don't know, I hope that there's some kind of deal where I can get those palettes. If not, maybe I'll just wait and get them in like the Sephora sale. I don't know, 20% is like, could be better, but maybe I'll get them in the Sephora sale. I wrote down ColourPop in this section, the brands that I know I'm probably gonna be buying from, because I know they're gonna get me. I know they're gonna get me. They always do. Those freaking sales that they have on their website, they always get me. I know I have no willpower to resist ColourPop sales, like the really good ones. And I know it's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna be getting something from ColourPop. So I put them on the list. I also put Blend Bunny here because, so I'm on an eyeshadow palette no buy, an eyeshadow everything no buy until the end of the summer, right? Like literally first day of fall is when I'm allowed to buy eyeshadow again. And I'll probably try to hold off a little bit. But I've been really wanting to try Blend Bunny. They weren't necessarily at the top of my list for like brands to buy from. Divina is still right at the top of my list. Divina might be my first purchase once I come out of this no buy. I don't know, we'll see. It's still a little ways away. What is that gonna be, next month? Blend Bunny wasn't really on the list of brands that I was like dying to try, but they honestly came out with a real banger this year. I always hear such great things about them, and they came out this year with a color story that I was really, really into. A lot of their color stories in the past have been like rainbow or just like kind of like neutral palettes. This one though, the Lure palette, that is my kind of color story. That color combination, right up my alley. So I might get that one. I might get Blends, because that's like their essential palette. It's like all mattes and it's a rainbow palette. I might get that one. And I might get the newest one, the grungy one. I don't remember what that one's called, but it's like 90s vibes. Although I will say I was looking at those palettes, the Lure palette and the newer grungy one, and I feel like some of the columns are kind of similar between them. I don't know. I have plenty of time to think about this, but I might, depending on what their sales are, I might get some stuff from Blend Bunny. Unless I decide to get their stuff before the holiday sales. That might be dumb though. Oh, I put Kayali down because I am definitely getting a full size of Yum Pistachio Gelato. I might not be able to wait until the sale though. I still have a little tiny bit in my travel spray, and I like don't want to use it because I don't want to not have it for like an occasion where I would want it. But at the same time, it's just sitting there and I'm like so afraid to use it. And I just want to use it all the freaking time because I love it so much. I love it so much more than I thought I was going to love it. And so there's a very strong possibility that I'm going to be buying a full size of that one in the sale. Hopefully Kayali has a good sale at like the holiday time. We'll see though. I also in this section put Unearthly because depending, I still want to get the Lore palette. I still want to get Warms My Blood if it's ever in stock at a time where I can like afford it. It always like comes back at weird times. Right after I decided I was going to be on an eyeshadow palette no buy, they announced that they were having a sale and that Warms My Blood and the Weirdos were both restocked. And I was like, oh, well, fabulous. I got neither of them. I wish I could have gotten both of them. And I want to get Lore. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get those at Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, whenever these sales are going to be. I also wrote down just a few other brands that I'm going to basically be keeping my eye on, see, you know, if anything interesting comes out from them, if they have any really good sales. I wrote down Glamlight. I wrote down Lethal. I wrote Sephora because, I mean, Rouge, I get 20% off, so I'm just gonna keep my eye out for what's available from them. And if I can get a better deal from the brands themselves, which you usually can, I'll do that. But if not, I might just get it from Sephora. I also wrote down One Size because I actually really love One Size, and there are still several products from them that I wanna try. I also wrote down Divina. Like I said, I'm probably gonna get some stuff from them before the holidays, so maybe I'm not gonna want to be buying more things during the holidays, and I also have no idea what their sales are, so I don't know. I might not bother, but we'll see. We will see. And then I also wrote down Nomad. I have not bought any Nomad this year. I was not super drawn to anything that they came out with this year, which is kind of bums me out because they came out with some things last year that I was super into, and I was so excited to like be into the brand and buy a bunch of stuff from them. And then I don't know, this year I just wasn't as inspired by what they came out with. But I don't know, there's still time. Maybe they'll come out with like a cute Christmas collection. We will see. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about holiday releases that I will be keeping my eye out for. I don't know if Natasha Denona will be releasing like a palette around this time. They tend to do that, I think. Like last year they came out with like the My Dream palette in the fall, and people thought that that was going to be kind of like their Christmas release, but then they ended up coming out with the Retro Glam palette after. And people were like, is this their Christmas release? So they might have something come out around then. I don't know. I'm always up for getting some Natasha Denona. But another brand that always comes out with a nice palette around that time, usually a bit earlier, but you know, generally around that time, is Huda. I don't know if I'll buy the big palette this year when it comes out, but I am excited to see what it is. I was excited to see what it was going to be last year too, because I love rose quartz so much. And then they announced Empowered, or I guess revealed Empowered, and I was like, oh, neutral palette. Okay. Okay. If you've been watching the channel, you know that I like recently added that palette to my collection, and it is beautiful for sure, but it's, you know, I don't know, a neutral palette. It doesn't really get my goat the way that something like rose quartz does. Rose quartz is gorgeous. If you don't have rose quartz, you need to get it. But I will be keeping my eye out for that. If it really rocks my socks off, maybe I will get it right away and like pay full price, because they don't put those things on sale right away, or they're like not included in the sales, right? I don't think they're included in the sales. I don't remember if Empowered was included in any of their sales last year, but I don't think it is. Oh, and I also wrote down Pat McGrath, because this is another thing that I probably won't buy right away at full price, but I gotta tell you, that holiday palette they came out with last year was so freaking nice. I got it at Marshall's for like 35 bucks when originally it was like an $80 palette. So expensive, but getting it for 35 bucks, it rocks for 35 bucks. $80, no way, not worth that. But 35, so nice. It has those colorful mattes, and using that palette together with the motherships and stuff, super fun. It makes it so much more fun to play with the other Pat McGrath palettes, to have the Mothership Mega to dip into and combine with those palettes. The other brand that I'm going to be keeping an eye on for holiday releases is actually Odin's Eye. They came out with some real bangers last year. I'm kind of hoping, I mean, I have both of those palettes. I still haven't used the Christmas Eve one. Don't kill me. I know, I gotta use it. So many people have such FOMO about that palette, and I gotta use it. I gotta be more grateful. My husband bought me both of the palettes, so I do have both of them, and I am very grateful for that. But I do hope that for all of the people that didn't get to have them last year, that I do hope that they re-release them this year. I don't know if they will, but it would be really nice if they would. I also hope that they come out with something else too, like a new collection, you know, some more bangers, like give us something even better. I don't know if it's unrealistic and crazy to hope for both of those things, but it would be nice if we could get at least one or the other. I think that's kind of it though, in terms of like holiday releases that I am like kind of anticipating. Who else has like fun holiday releases? I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of ColourPop release, maybe something from Glamlight. I don't know. I guess that's kind of it for holiday releases that I feel like I'm looking forward to. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. But anyway, I am going to try to restrict what I buy. I am not going to go through the back catalog of products from these brands and try to get every single thing that I find attractive from each of these brands, because that's crazy. I kind of did that last year and it was crazy. That was so crazy of me. I have so many palettes. I still am like drowning in palettes. So I'm just gonna really hone in on the things that I really want, the things that I really feel like will enrich my collection. And that's what I'm gonna buy. And I'm gonna try to limit myself. I'm gonna hopefully maybe pay for a lot of it cash if I can. like trying to not put things on credit cards is, the goal is to not put things on my credit cards. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I'm trying to stay strong this year, and I'm trying to not let the intrusive thoughts win. I'm trying to not be like sitting at the computer with like the one or two things that I want from a brand in my cart, sit there thinking like, oh, well, while there's this crazy ass sale, why don't I just throw this in? And like, oh, I need free shipping, let me just throw this one on. Or like, you know, like I gotta like not let that happen, you know? And I need you to root for me. I need you to be in the comments like, don't buy that. I mean, you're not gonna know when I'm sitting there at the computer like, what do I do? But yeah, any words of encouragement at that time of year would be nice. And likewise, if you want to reach out to me and be like, oh my God, I'm so tempted to buy this thing, I might even be able to recommend something cheaper, maybe. I don't know, I guess that depends on what the hell it is. I'm such a freak for eyeshadow palettes too, and like, maybe I should be buying things that aren't eyeshadow during these sales, like other kinds of products. Take advantage of the sales, get other things. I have so many eyeshadow palettes, I don't know. But I don't want to ramble on and on and on about this forever. It's getting late. So I'm going to wrap up the video here. I do hope that you enjoyed hearing me talk about these things. What are you excited for, you know, with all these sales and things coming up? Are there any holiday releases that you're interested to see or excited to see? And do you think Huda's palette this year is going to rock the way that Mercury Retrograde or Rose Quartz did? Or do you think it's going to be a little more everyday wearable like the Empowered palette? Not ragging on the Empowered palette, but just like, you know. Stay strong, you guys. If you're new, by the way, I upload every Sunday and every Wednesday, so make sure you subscribe for more content. I'm always talking about eyeshadow because I'm nuts for eyeshadow. Anyway, I will be seeing you guys again on Sunday. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great week. Peace.